What's up, nerds? Tony and Jerry here after a little bit of a hiatus here on Them Nerds. Couple of big important things kept us off of the YouTube. Number one, of course, was Thanksgiving, and number two is the fact that I've got COVID. True story. So yeah, good times. But enough about that. Let's talk about Disney.
Crazy thing is that the picture of health over here has been around you, and I still was able to keep that away. You know why? Because they just knew that wasn't in my repertoire.
Ladies and gentlemen, I wear my mask. I don't go weird places. I wash my hands, and still.
None of us do. None of us do.
Whatever. Anyway, let's talk
get us
about
every
Disney
time.
Investor Day.
Boom.
Disney freaking Investor Day. We thought maybe we'd get like, oh, here's a little announcement. No, it was a freaking bukkake of announcements.
It was amazing to me. Like I it was funny because I was like all throughout the morning, I was like preparing myself for this. Like I was like, they were like 1:30 p.m. They'll start putting stuff out, and like all these like nerd sites were like all just going crazy. And the people were like, they're not going to show you anything, guys. Blah blah blah. No, they really did. They were just like, you know what?
Yes, they did.
We can't even guarantee you'll be here in 6 months. So let's go ahead and show you what we have so far.
All of it. All of it. Let's start with Marvel. We heard, in addition to just confirmation of some of the cool stuff that we knew was coming, we got footage from Ms. Marvel, Loki trailer, confirmation of Haley Steinfeld on Hawkeye.
Not only did they do a confirmation of Haley Steinfeld, they had already filmed an opening for her. Which I was like, tell us 2 months ago.
Right.
Yeah.
I think, this all, of course, this is not confirmed, but this has been going on all over social media the last couple of days. Spider-Man 3 is almost guaranteed to be Spider-Verse.
Yes. So
that combined with all of this, it's just like, where do we even go? There's a million things to talk about.
Well, I think that what they are basically already admitting to all of us is that the events from WandaVision breaks down the multiverse. When you're like, Elizabeth Olsen is already filming Doctor Strange, the Multitude of Madness, and then you announce also that America Chavez is in the show, who is a person that literally punches holes into the multiverse. You know that things are going to be added in there that had never been there before.
Yes. Yeah, when we've got, so much stuff that appears to be connected to WandaVision, you just have to assume that. Especially with the appearance of Kang the Conqueror, we got confirmation that Ant-Man and the Wasp 3, Ant-Man 3, is going to be called, what is it? Quantumania?
Quantum something or other. It's going to be
Quantumania 6.
It's just like you just want to make it to 2024. It was like they released. We all knew because they had been releasing these photos, and if you go to our Instagram page, you can see the photos they've been releasing of these singular photos of what per decade of how WandaVision was going to go, and then so we all knew it was leading up to a trailer, and I think for the most part, all of us thought that's where it was going to kind of stop, and the trailer didn't disappoint. So we're like, this is a great trailer, It really gave you a look at a lot of the characters that we knew that were going to be in there, but they hadn't shown in the first trailer. But then all of a sudden it was just like, and then this, and then this, and then it just kept going. It was like, oh my gosh. It was like they announced so many characters that nobody would have thought that they were going to announce. I think the only thing that I was kind of disappointed is the idea that you have a complete movie in canon ready to go, The Eternals, and they gave us nothing.
Yeah. Yeah, that was kind of strange. He
Yeah.
was like, "Oh, and by the way, we're gonna have this super cool movie called The Eternals next." What?
Which I leads me to
I was
believe.
super stoked to see Ironheart.
Yes. And
It's
I
official,
was
and they have a cast.
that's right. I was texting Tony earlier. Like I just got so excited as the stuff got put out throughout the day that I didn't really pay attention to the fact that they actually had cast somebody for Ironheart in general. And so I was like, oh my god, they actually cast somebody. Like it's like they gave us so much stuff all at once that like you're just thought to yourself like you there was no way to retain it all.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, I keep like peeking at my phone. Like I have this picture that you sent me with all of the announcements just to make sure I don't miss anything. And when I picked it up right now, I just saw Armor Wars,
Yeah.
which I'm super stoked about. That's such a cool storyline.
It's such a great
And
idea.
Don Cheadle's such a great actor.
Yes, it's like because like you know, and Don Cheadle was under like I you know he's actually like an amazing actor, and like not that he was like you know that they kind of put him like on like third rate or whatever of characters, but like they really didn't develop his character. The idea that you give him a whole series to be like this is who this character is amazing.
Yeah. And you have to imagine that, you know, as much as Don Cheadle is a great actor and War Machine is a cool character, you have to assume that that's also going to be a vehicle for other characters to appear.
Absolutely, yeah. It's like
That's my guess.
which leads me into another show that they announced, which was She-Hulk, which all of us, you know, they had announced months ago who the lead character was, and we already know I don't try to mess with names. And
Tatiana Maslany.
Yes. But what I thought was actually like a key point was that she's a lawyer, so you don't know who you'll be seeing throughout this series. And I thought to myself, Daredevil.
Yes. Right. Well, just yesterday, the word kind of leaked out that Charlie Cox is supposed to reprise his role as Daredevil in Spider-Man.
Yes.
And between that and this, like, you know, legal battle thing that they mentioned in the investor meeting, you have to assume that there's going to be some kind of a connection there.
I think that, you know, right around 1:30 or so, they put out this email or like message out that said there will be 10 Star Wars films and there will be 10 Marvel Universe TV series that will be coming out, blah, blah, blah. And it was like, oh my gosh, I kind of thought that was the end of it. I didn't realize there was going to be a whole nother show that was going to show you everything that was going on. And so when you're looking at these lists and they just keep naming off show after show after show, and they're like, here's this person, and here's this person, and here's the only show that they really didn't give a whole lot of announcements on is Blade. Like they didn't give, you know, who's like writing it or like the story behind it or whatever else. But obviously they've gotten far enough in it that he made sure that we all were aware of what's going on. But it's like you look at that whole list and it's just like, this is crazy. This is what we have to look forward to for the next 2 to 3 years. And then there's that question mark at the very end. Like, and it's like, you just look at that and you're like, who is that?
Right. And, you know, I think that if they wouldn't have announced Fantastic Four, I think we would all be assuming that that's what the question mark was.
Yes.
But they announced it. It's happening. Very excited.
It's especially exciting that he announced it after there's been so many rumors that Emily Blunt and John
Krasinski.
There you go. Have been seen on this, you know, going in and possibly signing paperwork to portray the first family. And so it's like,
right.
These people are far ahead of, you know, I never would have thought that the idea, like we talked about it several videos back, how I thought that Ironheart would be a great series to put out there. The idea that you have not only Ironheart ready to go, but you already have somebody cast into this position. It's like, you guys are light years ahead of us.
And how great is it that we have Haley Steinfeld as Kate Bishop? We have an actress already cast for Ironheart. We have Iman Vellani as Ms. Marvel. And we also have, I can't remember the actress's name, but playing Cassie Lang in Ant-Man. You basically, you have the Young Avengers ready to go.
Which really made me think, because I was looking at that character, and you know, obviously we saw in Endgame they had recast an older version of it, of her character, but the girl that they got to play that character was in Big Little Lies, and she actually was a very good actress in there. So I think they thought to themselves, like, how do we progress this character with a better actor that can carry on a franchise as it goes on? Especially when you start putting people like Haley Seinfeld that has been up for Academy Awards, and who knows who they're going to put in the rest of it, because obviously we're leading to a Young Avengers storyline.
Yeah, and even if they don't specifically call them the Young Avengers, with the unfortunate passing of Chadwick Boseman and writing off Iron Man and Captain America as main characters, you have to be able to replace them with new, interesting, younger characters, and they're really stacking the deck in that direction.
Absolutely.
The one thing that I felt a little bit gypped by was Moon Knight.
Yeah. And I'm guessing that it's just, so early in the production that they don't have a whole lot in it. I did like the idea that he kind of gave the idea of, like, it's going to be Egyptian, history, which is like, something that everybody loves to hear about, yada, yada, yada. I also don't understand why he always keeps his hands in his pockets. But it's just like, I think that he laid it out in a good way. That, like, we're going to get this Egyptian folklore. I don't know if that's right wording for it, that's going to build this series off of it. I think, like, that sounds like it could be pretty exciting.
Yeah, I liked that he brought up Mark Spector's dissociative identity disorder, and he made it sound like each of his identities was going to be an individual character.
Yeah.
So I'm really interested to see where they go with that.
When you were watching it and, like, you started seeing some of these trailers, and, obviously we're all watching it and we're hoping for an Easter egg in there. When you heard on WandaVision, the radio is talking to her, did you recognize the voice? Could you figure out who it was that was talking to her?
No, I was going to ask you if you thought you knew who it was.
I was thinking that, we obviously all know that Quicksilver is supposed to be playing a character, within this multiverse of madness. That's not the right movie. WandaVision. But so I was thinking, like, could that be him talking to her? But then I thought I had started, you fall down this rabbit hole of nerddom trying to find out what's going on. And somebody kind of came up with this idea that maybe what's happening is that there's a small bubble of her WandaVision, right, of what's going on. And that as she kind of goes mad, it's expanding and it's pulling other people who aren't actually in there into that multiverse. And that's why when you see that Monica Rambeau in there and she's like, I don't know who I am. Like, there's these people who aren't supposed to be in there the whole time, and that you're pulling them in. And so, but I'm guessing that if I was going to take a guess at what's happening, is the idea that there's somebody who's controlling her, making that world. So I'm guessing that people's thought about Mephisto is probably going to come out to be true.
If it's going to be Mephisto, then you have to wonder if they're going to try to connect Hellstrom at all. Doesn't seem like it.
From Hulu?
Yeah, doesn't seem like it.
I don't think so.
Well, of course.
Maybe a remaking of it. There's a possibility.
Yeah. Of course, we have a ton to unravel here, but let's bounce over to the other half of the announcement. Star Wars. Of course, I was super excited by what they announced in Star Wars, the Star Wars portion of things. Ahsoka getting her own standalone series was totally expected. We all knew that was coming, but I was still very excited by it. But I think my favorite thing that got announced today was that the Obi-Wan Kenobi standalone, they're calling it a mini-series now, or a limited series, is going to co-star Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen. Yes. He's reprising his role as Anakin / Darth Vader, and you have to imagine that there's going to be a ton of like Force connection, and I just don't know how they're going to play it off, but I'm super excited by that.
Yeah. And will he have legs and arms? Who knows?
I don't know. Maybe they're going to be robot legs.
Maybe arms. Like, this is like just the weird part about me, that I was really excited about the C-3PO and R2-D2 series. I was like, oh, that's a cool idea. Like, they're really thinking outside of the box to expand this universe.
Right.
The Lando, I think, was also another idea that I love that idea.
Yes, I saw another YouTuber had brought up the idea of the Lando series being narrated by Billy D. Williams, but the character being played by Donald Glover.
I think that would be great.
Which I would love that.
Yeah.
The C-3PO and R2-D2 one I'm actually excited about too. The argument could be made that R2-D2 is like the hero of the entire saga. He's always there. He's always saving the day. He
always has a plan
and stuff. Right. Always sticking his little thing. Wait, no, that's not.
No, that's what gets you in trouble.
That's what got Anakin in trouble.
Yeah, that's exactly right. You got too close.
The other thing that was exciting was the Ahsoka show and Rangers of the New Republic and Mandalorian are all taking place during the same part of the timeline, and it's expected that they're going to intertwine in some way.
Am I wrong in the idea that it also takes place in the same time as the Mandalorian?
Yeah, Mandalorian, Rangers of the New Republic, and Ahsoka all take place at the same time. And there's some thought that the Rangers of the New Republic is actually the name of a spin-off show for Cara Dune, which she did seem to have a connection to the guy, I can't remember his name, the actor from Kim's Convenience that was in the last episode, the older Asian guy with the beard.
Still don't know. But I do think the idea that they gave her a character, an actress who is well known, leads to the idea that she's going to have a bigger part than just, a bit part in the third episode of Mando.
Yes. Yeah. And of course, being a huge fan of the animated shows, it leads me to believe that we're going to get a lot of the information wrapped up from Rebels, or at least continued from Rebels. They're going to have some ridiculously good programming on Disney Plus in the next couple of years.
It's amazing to me. I'm obviously I nerded out with the idea of what's going on with Star Wars and with Marvel, but I actually listened to the whole show as it was going on. Just the amount of stuff that is going to be going to Disney Plus is it definitely is worth the money that you're putting out every month.
Right. Yeah. And, the stuff that's going on Disney Plus and the way that they're interconnecting it with what's going to be on the big screen is really exciting. For us, we're constantly looking for connections. We're always looking for that shared universe sort of feel. And there were a couple of things that were mentioned, speaking of shared universes that were exciting to me. Rogue Squadron, which is being directed by Patty Jenkins, director of Wonder Woman, which was a fantastic film. It's going to be, she was quoted as saying it's going to be the greatest dogfighting battle movie in history. And so you have to imagine it's going to be just like space battles galore. And it's rumored to be taking place during the New Republic era, and it's going to be the next Star Wars film that's going to be on the big screen.
I think it's going to be great. Yeah.
That's exciting. Also, there's the next sort of push for Star Wars is this era called the High Republic, and it's mostly been talked about in terms of novels. Takes place several generations before the prequels, and they are going to have a live-action show called The Acolyte, which takes place in the High Republic era. And the phrase "The Acolyte" leads you to believe that it's probably going to follow some kind of a bad guy, a dark side Force user. But I mean, they're hitting all eras. You've got the New Republic, you've got the High Republic, the Bad Batch, which is an animated spinoff of Clone Wars, which of course, made me very excited.
Yeah.
That's going to hit that portion at the end of the Clone Wars leading up into Order 66. I mean, every era of Star Wars is getting hit pretty well here, except of course Old Republic, which, whatever. We'll have to
Who knows? That could be a question mark also.
Who knows?
Keep us in
I don't know,
quarantine long
man.
enough. I guess they can figure out anything.
Yeah, that's true. I feel that deeply right now. Standing in my front yard, talking to people across the street. Hey. Anyway, well, Disney Investor Day was a big success for us, not because we invest in Disney, but because we are nerds. I
I
can't even
invest in
afford one
great
share of
TV.
Disney.
Huh?
That's right. Yeah, I invest $8 a month in Disney Plus.
I would. Like to the actual channel.
Yeah.
Oh,
No,
I would
I
love
mean I
to
pay
be. I
my
would be an investor if they would have gave me so I could actually watch the footage that they didn't show. I would give them, $10,
$10 whole.
American dollars.
All right, guys, we are going to have to delve into all of this stuff that was revealed today, piece by piece, on future shows. Thanks for sticking with us here during our little hiatus due to
Work and COVID.
Thanksgiving holiday, different work schedules, global pandemic situation going on here. And we miss doing this. We like doing it, and we're gonna keep doing it. So
Right.
Stay tuned, and don't forget to like and subscribe and do all of those things.
Put some
Follow us on
comments
social
down there
media.
too.
Yes, what are you the most excited about from this information dump? There's so much to uncover and pick through here. Don't forget to follow us on social media at We Them Nerds on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Especially make sure you're checking us out on Instagram, where my boy Jerry does all kinds of cool stuff with spotlighting characters and storylines. Very informative for reals. And that's it for us for tonight. Thanks for joining us. Be good. Be good to each other. Bye.
Later, guys.